Well, happy Monday. Today is August 1st. Can you believe it? So, welcome to August and the eighth month. And eight is the number of new beginning. I hope that your day has gone well. And welcome to the break room. I know we've made a little change. It was the Monday huddle, but now it is the break room. So, welcome to you. We are streaming live from our YouTube channel as well as both my personal and business Facebook page. So, again, welcome and happy Monday. Put in the chat where you are tuning in from. I would love to know where you are in the world. So, if you will, I'm going to, do all the niceties first. So if you are watching via YouTube, I ask that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, click the notification bell so that you're alerted when when I go live again. And hi, Alina, welcome from Atlanta. And then here on Facebook, go ahead and like the video and share with others who you feel would benefit from what we talk about here in the break room. And the same thing on YouTube, go ahead and share over there as well. So, we have a theme song with this one, with the break room. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to watch when I did the introduction. The song that came to mind was by Climax. There's a meeting in the ladies' room. So if you will indulge me and sing along, there's a meeting in the break room and you'll be back real soon. That's what you want to tell others because you're taking a break so that you can tune in. So if this is your first time being here, I am Deetra Dennis, and I'm so glad that you're here with us. And if you're coming back for another time together, welcome back. So again, I am Deetra Dennis, a registered nurse and the self-care coach for nurses. And I empower the nurses to prioritize the care of their MVP, yes, their most valuable patient, which is themselves, so that they can show up as the best version of themselves. And as a result of that, it will impact the health of their family and the community. And so the break room is our self-care safe space. And again, it's an escape from the day-to-day. And so feel free again to share this with others who you feel would benefit from what we talk about. So today we're going to talk about I'm here, now what? Now, last week we talked about how did you get here? And I hope you had an opportunity to really think about what we talked about. We talked about stillness and things of that nature. And so today we're taking the self-reflection a little deeper in okay, so I'm here, now what do I do? Okay, and so if you see me looking down, I'm going to be looking at my notes. I like to bring value when I'm here with you on today. And so what I wanted to talk about and ask you the question, have you ever heard of the term presenteeism? Anyone heard of that? And I know sometimes it's a delay in the chat, but presenteeism is when you are physically in a place, but you're not fully functioning. Yes, thank you, Alina. Yes, you've heard of it before. Yes, and so to answer the question, I'm here, now what? The now what is to be present. And I know when I worked at a large managed care company and we were having quite a bit of turnover and they had consultants to come in and we had many, many, many presentations on be here now. And the training was so awesome. And it really is something that I have implemented in my day-to-day. How about you? Do you practice be here now or being present? And how do you practice being present? If you do. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And so anyone, how they practice being present? So, and again, I know it's a little delay, so we'll keep talking. And so when I think about presenteeism, like I said, you're physically there, but you're not fully functioning. Now, I love music, so what came to mind to me. The OJ said it like this as relates to presenteeism. Your body is here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. You heard of that song? That truly is what presenteeism is. You're physically there, but your mind mentally, you're not there. And so when we practice being present, it is a form of self-care for our mental well-being. And it's so important for us to do that when we are being pulled in several directions or when it's high pressure. It is important for us to be present. And another thing when I think about being present is that you are truly in the moment and not thinking about what's in the past or rehearsing or revisiting that over and over in your mind or worrying about what's in the future. Is truly being in the present moment. So if you don't mind, I want to share a little bit. There was a survey. Yes, Alina, identifying triggers and reset. Yes, that is what being present is all about. Identifying those triggers and resetting. And so if you don't mind, I want to share a survey that was done. I can't remember the year that it was done, but it was conducted on nurses in North Carolina, and it was about over 2,500 nurses that they surveyed. And what they were doing was to identify how presenteeism was affecting the quality of care. And so what they identified was that 71% of the nurses experience musculoskeletal pain. Because when you're exhausted, I think we talked about this when we talked about what burnout is doing to our body, and it could cause those muscle strains or pains. But 71% of the nurses said they experienced musculoskeletal pain, which caused them not to be fully present. And then 18% experienced depression. And those things, again, when they were looking at that, it mentioned that both of those that I mentioned, the musculoskeletal pain and the depression, those are two main causes of presenteeism. There were others, but those were the two main causes of presenteeism. And so not only does presenteeism impact you, but listen at this, what happens when you're not fully present. It could cause or have higher patient falls, because if you're not paying attention and having attention to detail, some things can fall through the cracks. Another thing is medication errors. Those are some things. This was in the survey. Now, this is not what Deetra said. This is what was in the surveys. And then lastly, lower quality of care. So this, to me, shares why, or identifies, or shows a highlight that really self-care truly is important. It's crucial that we as nurses take care of ourselves, because it's not just impacting us, it is impacting the lives of others that are assigned to us. And that is not just in the hospital, but also to your family and to the community. So self-care, this to me, I don't know about you, does that, come to mind that yes, self-care is important? So I want to give you 3 reasons why being present and be here now. I know the 3 that I mentioned, are make you say, okay, stand up and say, yes, self-care is important. But I want to just mention a few here that what happens or even benefits when you are present. The first one is it releases stress release. And so as a result of being present, it allows you, I know last week we talked about the stillness, but when you are present, that is what happens. You have that stillness, you have, again, reducing the stress, but it also brings calm for you when you are present. So again, it releases stress when you are present. And we know how stressful and high demand our role is. So this is why it's important to practice self-care of our mental well-being by being present. Number 2, another reason to be present, or a benefit of being present, is better concentration and focus. And again, it is important for us to have that laser focus. I remember one of my last positions that I had, it was always talked about be laser focused. And this is how you can be laser focused, blocking out all of the other things and truly tuning in to what is before you. And the last one that comes to mind when it comes to being present and being here now. And that is you have better execution and attention to details, especially under pressure. Now, the pressure that we can be under. And this is why, again, being present is so important. I wanted to ask you a question. In your experience, have you ever, and I know I've asked before, have you practiced being present, but how does it make you feel when you pause and truly be here now? When you are not thinking about the past and not worrying about the future, but when you're truly right here, right now, what does that feel like for you when you are fully present? Do you feel that calm? Do you feel that peace? Do you have any of those? What do you experience? Yes, definitely peace. And I know for me, I can even share, like, over the past few weeks, working on some things behind the scene. And thank you, Alina, for sharing that about it gives you peace. Behind the scenes, I'm working on some things, some great things. So stay tuned. I'll be sharing some great things coming up. And so it had caused me, to be a little having the triggers, as you mentioned earlier, Alina, having triggers and, a little high stress, I would say. And so as a result of that, over this weekend, I had to practice what I preach and really just take time, the stillness that we talked about on last week, but truly not thinking about what has happened in the past, nor, thinking about the things that I want for the future, but truly appreciating the present moment. And so, were there any questions or anything that I mentioned about, even about the survey? Did that make you, how did that make you feel? Or what was your thoughts about, hearing as a result of not being fully present could truly impact the patient's lives? Be it, like I said, with the higher risk of the patients falling, or medication errors, or lower quality of care. Was that shocking to you to hear that? As a result, again, of not being fully present, and in my words, I would say not practicing self-care of your mental well-being. Was that a shocker to you? Okay. And so, to answer the question, again, going back to you're here, now what? Yes, absolutely. Very shocking. And so the question is, the answer to the question, now what? The now what is to be present. Be here now. And you can do that very easily if it's, after leaving out of a patient's room. And I know I've mentioned this before, but it's so important. When you're leaving out of one patient's room, before you go into the next one, be fully present. If it means taking a deep breath before you go into the next patient's room, or if you're working from home and you're reviewing charts, like in utilization management, when you're reviewing those charts, in between the charts, take a moment, because sometimes the information that you read in those charts, it's really, it's a lot that goes on. You're seeing really the behind the scenes of what's going on with the patient's care. Or if you are in disease management and you're coaching patients, allow yourself time before going to the next patient, because many times it's a call center. So time you hang up, another call is right there, ready for you to talk to another patient. If you take a moment to be present so that you can be attentive to that patient or client on the other end of the phone, and you can pick up on the nonverbals, even over the phone, you can pick up on some things and you can help navigate and move them to the next level. Yes, taking a deep breath gives us pause. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And again, it allows that peace and that calm to take place. So if you're watching this on the replay, I still invite you to respond in the comments to the questions that I've asked, and any experience that you've had, and how did you feel? Did it shock you about the statistics from that survey that was done on the nurses in North Carolina? And I always like to end with a great quote. If there aren't any questions that come up, I like to end with this quote. And it says, "Be fully present in the moment, no matter what you're doing. And as a result of that, the best of you will reveal itself." All right. So if there aren't any other questions, our time in the break room is up, and now you can go back to your day. And thank you again for tuning in to the break room. Thank you very much, Alina. And I look forward to seeing you again on next Monday. Have a good one.